Hi there, it's Krista Strayer with Flourish Yoga and my Vanna White daughter here, Catherine, and we are going to show you how to make bath bombs, which is a super fun, activity to make, especially for teens and tweens. I did a lot with my yoga classes with them. Super fun, but also as a great gift for that tween and teen age and for any age because they're super fun. Okay, so let's get started. We need citric acid. We need, what's this guy? Baking soda and cornstarch, Epsom salts, a little bit of oil, and a little bit of water. Okay, and then your essential oils, whichever one you like to add in. And there is no rules on that. I love the Adaptive going in there, and my daughter loves Citrus Bliss going in there, but anything kind of works. One thing to note, if you do too citrusy, sometimes it can, affect if you've got a plastic around your tub. So citrus oils in the tub don't always mix very well, but a little bit should be fine, right? Okay, so let's get started. We are gonna add in a half a cup citric acid. Okay. There's that one. And then 1 full cup of baking soda. So this is super, super nourishing in your bath. Let's see if I can get that out of here. Gotta top that up. And it's not like exact measurements on this one. It's totally fine. Oops. Okay, what's next, Catherine?
The oil.
Cornstarch. So I would put all of the dry ingredients first in, and then we're gonna add the wet ingredients little bit by little bit. Okay, so we need a half a cup of cornstarch. Goes in there. Okay. All right. A half a cup of Epsom salts, and I've seen various different recipes online for this. Some have Epsom salts, some don't. Some have cornstarch, some don't. So you can kind of like play with what you have in your kitchen. So those are the 4 dry ingredients that I typically use. And then we're going to use, you can use a total of a tablespoon of oil. I like to add all the liquids, just small amounts. And if you have an assistant, Vanna, that can be mixing it as you do that, make use of that skill, because when you add in any of the liquids, and the oil isn't as bad as the water, but it does start to like sizzle, so it starts to activate the citric acid, and we want to save most of that activation for when it's in the tub, right? So there's 1. We're going to do a total of 3. So 3 teaspoons is the same as 1 tablespoon. So up to you. We were just kind of playing with the measurements before we got started here to see what was going to work. And we found that 1 and 1 worked really well. So these are 3 tablespoons of oil. Now this is when it really starts to sizzle. And we add in, can you show that? It starts to like bubble up there. So it's kind of a good fun science experiment with that to do with your kids. You can add food colorings too to this. You can do some natural dyes and things like that. Just note that they do color your bathtub, so you want to clean them out right afterwards. It is fun to have like the really fun colors when you get them, but they do color everything that they come in contact with, right? So go easy on the drops of dye that you add into it. My daughter likes the fun colors. I prefer the white because someone's not so good at cleaning out the tub. Right. You can also add like little, dried flowers and little petals and things like that are nice in this. And we'll show you as you're making them. You can add a little, something to make it look pretty as you do that as well. Okay. How many was that? 2. That was 2. Okay, 1 more. And then, so what we're looking for here is kind of the texture. So you want it to be able to start to stick together. And we're just using a pastry blender to mix it. We found that easier. Otherwise, things can tend to fly up all over the place. Hence my white shirt from our trial round here. And I'm just going to test this. So as you put your hands in, as it comes together, ooh, I think we need a little bit more on this one. as you bring it together, you want it to stay together and not be too crumbly. Yeah, we're gonna, oh, you know what? We're just about there. As we add the essential oil, it's gonna add a little bit more. So we're gonna do that first. It's a little bit on the, so as you can see, when I'm scrunching it here, it's kind of crumbling apart. It is not tending to stick together. You don't want it really sticky. You want it just at that point that it's gonna come together. Which one did we do last?
Citrus.
We did citrus bliss last one? So, okay, so we were like cutting our losses. So we got one batch of citrus bliss and one batch of adaptive. So I'm gonna put in 20 drops. If it comes out.
Got my finger. Maybe an extra one.
Okay, so you can put between 20 and 30 drops in. Sometimes when I do this with, if you're doing it with your kids, I'll give everybody like a smaller thing that they're gonna do with just theirs. We're gonna like portion this into maybe 4s type thing, and then you can put your own flavoring in when you're mixing it up. So you don't have to do the whole batch. You can do it like individual by the what you're going to add into your thing too. Okay, how is that? Is it sticking together better? It is. It's pretty good. I'm going to add just a tiny more bit of water, like a half a teaspoon. Okay, ready? If it's too dry, it's hard to stick it. So it depends when you're sticking it together. Like it won't be totally formed together, but as it dries, it will be, okay? So these are some of the ones that we played with before. And these are different kind of molds that you can use. So I ordered these ones just online. They're just little plastic molds. I find these work really well. I also ordered some of these metal ones. And for some reason, these ones just didn't tend to work as well. The metal ones versus the plastic ones. I'm not really sure why, but you can kind of see how we'll experiment here together. And then, so the plastic ones you'd fill each half, and when you stick them together, we'll show you how that works. Or the other one that we just played with was having these fun little just muffin tins. You don't need the perfect molds, and you just squish it down. I like these ones with the flat sides because you can really like squish it in there, and that's part of what this is. Okay, we're good there?
I think so.
Excellent. So you're gonna finish off your round one, and then you're gonna make a baby one, right? And so when we're doing this, we're just gonna don't fill the whole thing up. You're gonna push enough in, and then you really gotta like push it into the mold without breaking the mold, but getting it quite firm in there, okay? So you just keep working at that, and once you get one half filled, I'll give you the demo on this. So this one's filled, and it's a little bit, so you're gonna do a little concavity there. It's quite filled to the top. We did this one before, and it's already starting to harden. I usually let them for a week before, but probably a couple days would be enough, depending on how thick your mold is. This one's pretty thick, and we want it to dry. So you want to give it enough time. So a week is lots of time, and it should be good after a week. But if you're smaller, like these guys here, probably just need a couple of days to dry out. Okay, so once it's together, now this gets really fun. We are going to spray, so I just have a little spray cap on and then some water, right? So I just was using a old oil bottle, and I'm just going to get it really like bubbling up there. And then we stick these together. You're going to pressure really tight, okay? So you start to, work it together. Get a little bit of that off the excess. And then we're going to use an elastic band, which I just hid somewhere, apparently. On the table. We're using an elastic band to hold it together, okay? Perfect. See if this one will work. And so that just kind of keeps it while it's drying. Oops. This is a really big one, this guy here. Okay, so that's just going to hold it together. We did the same thing with this little heart-shaped one. So you just spray it with some water to kind of get it activated, and then the two sides will stick together as they're drying. Okay, Kate's going to demonstrate with one of these little tiny guys. And Oh, so then if you want to get fun with these, so I love this guy here. You could put like a little something on the bottom, right? To have that little imprint so that when it comes out again, and these are really easy to pop them out of, right? When it comes out, you'll have that kind of imprint on there. So it's a fun way to do this. You just place it in the bottom and then you're just going to gently, start, put a little bit of dry stuff in there and then just gently pressing down over that little fun. We were just trying to think of whether we could dry flowers in the summer or get ready for this one or what we could do. But even like a little piece of, Christmas pine needle, something like that. It'll of course start to float in the tub when you use it, but that's okay, right? Even a little bit of rosemary would look kind of, Christmassy as you're doing that. Okay, and so you're just gonna slowly kind of add it in, press it in, and that's all there is to it. So it's pretty simple to make. I know you just need a little bit of patience because they're not going to be ready like today. So you have to leave them for these ones a couple of days, these ones for at least a week before you want to unpack them and take them off. All right, super fun. Any other suggestions you have, Kate?
No, be creative with your oil choices.
Yeah, get fun with your oils, get fun with how you like package them up. And then we usually just put them in like a little kind of a gift bag, a party bag, and put like a little ribbon on them. Kind of makes it really fun to get them.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, enjoy that. Have fun. Put below what your suggestions are and how you like to make them and what you use for your containers. I'm super curious for that and expand our repertoire.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
One last thing I forgot to show you. Another way that we're experimenting with this year is to use a little mini muffin tin. So I've lined this with some saran wrap, and you've got to, be careful that as you, push it down, the saran wrap's going to come over the edge. So I've got like 2 rows that this is going to cover. If I had enough to do a 3rd row, I would need to put a new saran wrap in there. And then I'm just pushing this down, and this should be easy to like take them out after they're fully dry. So that's another quick way you can do this. And again, you could put that little, decoration of something in the bottom of this before you filled it with your mix. All right, enjoy.